Astronomers aren't too happy with his SpaceX company. They say a lot of the company's low-orbit satellites are actually blocking their view of the stars. And you do not want to see these geniuses ticked off. But look at all the satellites that are out there. Is he really the only one to blame? They say it's mostly his stuff because they're in low orbit. I don't know, but I know this next guy knows. The NASA Administrator, Jim Bridenstine. Jim, good to have you. Is it mostly his stuff that's at issue here?
No, not at all. In fact, we have a lot of objects in low Earth orbit. Most of it is commercial in nature these days, like his satellites. But I do want to say SpaceX is a great partner with NASA. They are very responsible space actors. And some of these problems with astronomy can be mitigated very easily just by reducing the reflectivity of the satellites. And so SpaceX is working with the astronomers to make sure that they don't get in the way. And I will tell you, I know Elon Musk personally. He has no interest in blocking the access for the astronomers.
This is a dumb question on my part, but you're used to them, Jim. I mean, can't they just wait then, if you're looking through a telescope, for the satellite or aforementioned satellites to pass and then say, okay, now it's not an issue?
So the challenge is we're talking about thousands of satellites in low Earth orbit that are streaking across the sky. And so what happens is, depending on the exposure of the telescope, you could get streaks across the pictures that you're creating for those images. And so that's been happening. But here's the thing. It can be mitigated. We can find the right balance. We're working on it every day. SpaceX is a great partner that's making sure they're doing the right things.
You know, while I got you here, Jim, I'm curious. I know they've been talking a lot more about, revamping our space program and eventually getting men and women up into space of their own accord without hitching rides with the Russians or what have you. How close are we to that?
So I would say we are within, in the first half of next year, we will be launching American astronauts on American rockets from American soil for the first time since the retirement of the space shuttle in 2011. So we've been without a human spaceflight program now for 8 years. We're bringing it back. It's going to happen in the first half of next year. But it's more than that. Neil, we're also putting together a coalition of nations to go to the moon. The United States of America is leading it. And it's going to be stunning and important for our country as we go forward.
You know, also, while I have you, this push to go to the moon and revisit the moon, now, my simplistic view of that, been there, done that 40-plus years ago. Why do we have to revisit that? Now, I get it where that's going to be a launching pad for some of these other interstellar missions and all, but it just seems like going backwards to go forward. What do you think?
Neil, hold on. Neil, you're a money guy. Goldman Sachs did a study. Goldman Sachs said that the world's first trillionaire is going to be somebody or an entity that can mine asteroids and or the moon. We look at all those impacts on the moon, all of those big craters. Right. Those are asteroid impacts from billions of years ago. On Earth, we call them rare earth metals. They're actually asteroid impacts. Earth has a very active geology, a very active hydrosphere. The moon does not, which means anything that impacted the moon billions of years ago is today right where it was billions of years ago. In other words, there could be massive deposits of platinum group metals on the moon. I'm not saying there is. Right. I'm saying it could change the balance of power on Earth, and it ought to be the United States of America that makes those discoveries.
Yeah, that's why I said I don't know why anyone is criticizing our wanting to go back to the moon. I don't know where they're coming from. Jim, seriously, thank you very much. Now I understand.